The newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Cebu City has been implementing some vaccination perks among residents to encourage people to receive the anti-COVID jabs. But the DILG says this bakuna bubble should stop. To get his side, we have with us this morning Cebu City Acting Mayor, Mayor Michael Rama. Mayor Rama, good morning.
Good morning.
Mayor, would like to get your reaction. Yes, the DILG said that they will coordinate with your office to amend the executive order. What do you have to say about this?
I wish they can see the novelty of what we're doing, because I have also seen on TV that this matter about bubble might already be adopted on circumstances that will also permit. Hello, Risa. Can you hear me?
Mayor, what was the rationale, the reason behind implementing these bakuna bubbles?
How's that again?
Would like to know what was your rationale, what were the reasons for the implementation in Cebu City of these bakuna bubbles?
Okay, I actually wanting to balance economy and health issue, and precisely this bakuna bubble, which is not entirely all activities, it is coming from a convergence interaction, particularly from the hotel, resorts, and restaurants, including the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, plus the so-called sidewalk and road traders, which is known here in Cebu as ambulant vendors. They all have made that suggestion precisely in order that they would be able to encourage the opening of the economy with the health. That matter was incorporated in the dining in, including the personal services.
Mayor, how has the EO affected the turnout of vaccination in your area?
The truth of the matter, it was not even because they wanted to have the vaccination, but the present vaccination has continuously attracted vaccinees, because right now we've already had reached over almost 500 doses that have enjoyed the availability of vaccine. And we will continue to pursue, especially with the influx of vaccine for Cebu City, because we have 21 vaccination sites po na ginagawa na hybrid. Kaya we are very much optimistic, plus this thing about bubble vaccination, then we would be able to have by November, or likely by December, the herd immunity.
Mayor, how are the cases in your city?
Right now, I am very happy because from the time that we ended up really having this seriously, it started with 300, then it went to 400, then it plateaued somewhere less than 300, and as of today, I have with me the data submitted, and it's only 81. Two-digit po, Risa. Two-digit na.
All right, that's good to know. Well, stay safe, Mayor, and would like to thank you for sharing your time and your insights with us. That's Cebu City Acting Mayor, Mayor Michael Rama. Meanwhile, as the world commemorated the anniversary of the 9/11 attack, experts gathered to discuss what really happened with the U.S. exit from Afghanistan and its implications in the future. Ryan Ang has the report.
On the 20th year of the 9/11 attacks in the U.S., the Conflict Resolution Clinic invited journalists, a retired CIA officer, a professor, and an officer of the Philippine Army to discuss online what went wrong in Afghanistan. They also discussed its implication on regional security and the lessons learned from what had happened. According to Jordanian journalist Raducanu, the U.S. government invested in the wrong people, built an institution, not a state, negotiated in the absence of the Afghan government, and their unorganized withdrawal from Afghanistan. Bronner echoed Raducanu's statement, saying that the corruption from within, lack of proper training, lack of effective leadership, and will to fight caused the Afghanistan forces failure. He added that the U.S. forces have an ambiguous mission without any exit strategy.
When they came into Afghanistan, as mentioned by an earlier speaker, they were very clear that they were going in to neutralize or to kill Osama bin Laden. And then later on, when he was driven out, it transitioned to nation building. There wasn't a real definition of the mission, the actual mission of the U.S. Armed Forces in Afghanistan. And this led to the lack of an exit strategy.
But Bronner also shared what they have learned from what happened. He said that the AFP should invest in a professional armed forces that is well-led, well-trained, well-equipped, and well-motivated. He added that the AFP should also have a clear mission, know when to stop the mission, and have an exit strategy. A retired CIA officer also shares the same thoughts as Bronner, saying that the U.S. lost its focus on capturing bin Laden and Al-Qaeda.
Layer on top of all that training, layer on top of all of that building capabilities, I believe that it was where we really went wrong, and that was trying to impose American values, current American values on this country that we had destroyed and taken out their government.
And while they were trying to win the hearts of the Afghans, they continued their attacks that motivated the Afghans to rise against them. Emirates Diplomatic Academy professor Ricard Jaquelbro said that UN will have to wait for the changes in Afghanistan's governance before the new country will be recognized. As if the Philippines will likely experience what happened to Afghanistan if the Bangsamoro transition period is extended for 3 more years, Bronner said it doesn't seem like it, and assured the AFP is prepared for those who will wreak havoc.
By the way things are going, we believe that there might be an extension for another 3 years, which will give ample time for the Bangsamoro Transition Authority to really keep the Bangsamoro government running in a normal stride, so to speak. It's really very difficult to establish a working government in just 3 years. No? There's really a difficulty doing that. But if things will work out well, then we won't see any violence and we won't see any Afghanistan here in the Philippines.
Bronner also thinks the return of the Taliban to power will not affect local terrorist groups in the Philippines.
And
For News 5, Ryan Ang, We Are One News.
so that we could vaccinate.
Meanwhile, the Immigration Bureau announced the implementation of a temporary travel ban on passengers coming from 9 countries starting today. The travel ban covers Azerbaijan, Guadeloupe, Guam, Israel, Kosovo, and Montenegro. It also includes North Macedonia, St. Lucia, and Switzerland. Mere layover passengers will not be covered by the ban, which will be in effect until September 18. Great Britain's Emma Raducanu completed a sweep of the 2021 US Open after beating Phil Canadian Leylah Fernandez in the final in New York. This is the U.S. Open's first final featuring two teams since 1999. Fernandez and Raducanu traded games, keeping the match at deadlock until the eighth game. But a crucial break in the 10th game helped the 18-year-old British player take the advantage. Raducanu ended the match with an ace to clinch the championship and become the first ever qualifier to win a Grand Slam in the open area after sweeping all the games. En route to the final, Raducanu bested Olympic champion Belinda Bencic in the quarterfinals and Maria Sakkari in the semifinals.
A missed drop shot, reading the court.
Now, despite not getting the fairy tale ending she wanted, Phil Canadian Leylah Fernandez is still proud of how much she accomplished at only 19 years old. Fernandez said it's going to be hard to recuperate from her loss today, but praised her opponent, Emma Raducanu, for an amazing match. Fernandez added that she made herself proud with the way she played for the past 2 weeks. En route to the final, the team had to overcome a lot of big-time challengers, including former U.S. Open champions Naomi Osaka and Angelique Kerber. Now let's take a quick look at the other top stories. Typhoon Kiko is seen to exit the Philippine area of responsibility this afternoon or tonight. Kiko was last located at 245 kilometers north of Itbayat, Batanes, as it moves northward at 15 kilometers per hour. It will further weaken in the coming hours, but will remain under typhoon category. The Octa Research Group says that the reproduction rate in the country is still manageable despite record-breaking cases. Professor Guido David said that the country's transmission rate is currently at 1.36. President Duterte asked Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon to explain his alleged ties with pork barrel scam mastermind Janet Lim Napoles and two other personalities he had linked to the illegal drug trade. Drilon dismissed Duterte's attacks, saying the latest malicious trades are old news. Now, Drilon said the Senate will not be distracted from their investigation of the government's procurement of allegedly overpriced medical supplies. Now, those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.